Hello, welcome back to day 4 of trying to build a Polygon day trading AI bot, which is going to pull data from the Polygon network, try and find some interesting trades to make or some good trades to make, and automate the whole process. So as I've been doing all of this week, I've been checking the wallet to start with, seeing how we're doing. And the 24-hour change has been down just over 1%, which is obviously neither good nor bad. I think one of the main reasons for that is the recommendations yesterday were buying a lot of stablecoins. Even PAR, which I didn't realize was a stablecoin, so the vast majority of the holdings are now either Matic or stablecoins, and that's just not going to mean much movement in price. So I think I'm going to change the prompt a little bit, or I have changed the prompt a little bit to try and push it to be a little bit less conservative and try and take a few more risks. So let me show you, just to briefly go over the holdings. So we've got stablecoin, Chainlink, Aguro, which might actually be a stablecoin as well, I don't know, and Lido and Aave, proof of stake, but very small amounts of these last few. So yeah, I'm going to try and make it a little bit more ambitious when it comes to the prompt. And just a reminder, we're using the graph Uniswap v3 Polygon. So we're pulling the top 200 most active or biggest liquidity pools by daily volume. So the 200 most active liquidity pools on Uniswap Polygon. And I've now changed this query a little bit, so we're now getting some historic data. It's not historic price data, which is what I wanted, but we're pulling daily snapshots, pulling daily volume and swap counts for the liquidity pool. So I'm hoping that the last 10 days of liquidity and swaps will give the AI a little bit more information about the momentum and historic data. We'll see. And yeah, so actually the big change today is that I've written a script to pull all of this data from the graph. I'm more or less happy with this query for now. There's obviously a lot of stuff we can improve, but for now it's good enough. So I've written a script that pulls all of this data and saves it to a file, Polygon market data.json, which means I can just run that every day, and then eventually we'll hook it up to ChatGPT and run that part as well. The other side, the buying side, is still not automated, so I'm still doing that manually. But the next step will be to automate that as well and make the whole process a little bit faster. The main body of the prompt has stayed the same. We're just going to ask it to try and invest in tokens with the goal of maximizing gains over a 24-hour period. And I've told it a little bit more about the data. So I've given it actually some sample data from the file, because yesterday it struggled a little bit to find some certain things and pull some certain data. So hopefully this will help. And then the rest is the same, apart from some pointers at the end. I've said I want at least 50% of the portfolio to be non-stable coins. Hopefully it understands what I mean by that. And please remember to pick the correct side of the trading pair, because yesterday, if you saw that episode, it was picking, there were a lot of duplicates, nearly all of them were stable coins, and I suspect it was finding liquidity pools that looked interesting, and then it was just picking the wrong side of the trading pair. I don't know, but hopefully this will stop that. And yeah, yesterday I had problems finding the contract address and token symbol, and I just told it exactly where to look for that. So hopefully we should run into fewer problems. Like before, I will tell ChatGPT to start the analysis, respond to any questions that it might have, and I'll speed up this whole process, and we'll catch up once that's all done. Okay, so we're back. So it gave me 10 coins to invest in, which is good news. I don't know a huge amount. I mean, obviously there's still a lot of stable coins here, but Bob Token, MakerX, TXAU, I think are all non-stable coins and world stake coin as well. So hopefully that's a bit more balanced. Unfortunately, it doesn't add up to 100%, so it's not all of the portfolio. But like I said before, ChatGPT is just bad at maths. So we'll have to just take the weightings and multiply them however much to make up the portfolio. That's fine. Maybe in the future I'll just mention weightings. I won't even bother with the percentages, because maybe it'll be easier to understand. Or even just ranking them from 1 to 10 or something like that might work a bit better, because I'm not convinced that ChatGPT really understands how the percentages and the weightings of the portfolio work anyway. But anyway, we've got our coins. That's the main thing. I'll just go up briefly and show you what happens. So that was my original prompt. So ChatGPT outlined the process: data exploration, data processing, feature extraction, data analysis, portfolio optimization, final recommendation, and it also pulled out the metrics that it was going to look at from the data. It asked me a clarifying question about the snapshots, and it was saying, do you want me to consider all of the snapshots or only the most recent ones? I only had 10 days per liquidity pool anyway, so I just asked it to use everything. And then it's confirmed that had all worked. There were fewer, it felt like there were fewer errors than have been previous days. In previous days, it spent a long time processing the data, and sometimes it's had to fix its own problems with the processing. I think pasting the format or an example of the format helped with that. And yeah, so price momentum, I think it made a mistake here, to be honest, because it doesn't actually have prices. Like I said, it doesn't have prices in the historic data. It's just got liquidity pool data. And it said here that calculated as a rate of change of the token's last price of a 10-day period. Some values are NAN, which is null, possibly because the price remained constant. I mean, that's obviously not true. So I think maybe there was a mistake here. I might need to be clearer about what the 10-day historic data contains, so that it doesn't try to use that to find out the price momentum. But it, broadly speaking, it seemed to follow the same strategy as it did yesterday, which was to take all of the factors that I had identified and come up with a formula to score each of the tokens based on those factors. So yeah, it said it was going to rank the tokens based on the composite score, apply the constraints to make sure that 50% of the portfolio is non-stable coin, and then allocate the portfolio. And then yeah, it gave me the top 5 based on the composite score, which seems to be a relatively sensible thing to do. I definitely think there's still opportunities to improve this prompt, and if I'm going to automate this a bit more and then put this automatically into the token buying script, which I haven't built yet but will be built, then we need a more standardized format, because as you can see here, it started to write out all of the tokens but got bored and just left it. So we need to make sure that this is a bit more robust before we automate that. But this is good. What I'll do is I'll stop the video here. I'll go in and make all these investments manually, and then tomorrow we'll do the same thing, evaluate today's investments, see what happens, try and improve the process a little bit, and keep going. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, please get in touch. Leave them in the comment section, and I will see you tomorrow.